right, welcome back everyone. Welcome to a new video. This is Jeff here with fxmindshift, and today we're going to be talking about why your strategy fails and how you can fix it. Okay, so let me ask you a question. For those of you that are struggling right now to find consistency, does trading feel like a constant restart for you guys? You know, every week or every other week, are you guys always looking for new strategies, looking for the next holy grail system that's gonna, finally get you to where you want to be? Because every time you do that, what's happening is you have a new system to learn, right? A new set of rules to learn, and basically you're just hoping and praying that this is going to be the system that finally gets you the results that you want, okay? There's a term for this, okay? It's called the emotional cycle of change, and it's illustrated here by this diagram. And this is what perpetually is a cycle of doom for a lot of new traders, because what happens is that all of them get stuck right here in this first half of the curve. Okay, so we all start out here at number one, which is called uninformed optimism, right? And when we find a new strategy, something we found on YouTube, or a trading guru, or something that was shared on social media or something like that, we find a new system, we find a new holy grail, and we are optimistic, right? We're happy that we found a new system. This is the one that's going to work, and we're optimistic about it. Okay, so a couple days go by, we're trading this system, right? But it's not really producing the results that we expected, and you think, okay, well, this is harder than I thought it was, and it was not as good as advertised, right? That's when we enter stage two, okay, and that is informed pessimism, right? So now you know a little bit about the system, how it works, you've traded it, right? You've taken some losses, and it's not really going as well as you'd hoped. Okay, so now that's stage two, informed pessimism. Then what happens is maybe a couple more days go by, maybe a week goes by, right? And we take some more losses. Maybe we blow some accounts, okay? But for sure, it's not showing us the results that we were expecting. And we've taken a lot of losses now, and now we are in stage three, which is the valley of despair. This is where 95% of people give up, right? From here, what they'll do is they'll say, this system doesn't work, okay? This strategy does not work. I need to find something else. And then what they'll do is they'll find a new strategy, and then we'll start the cycle all over again back up here at number one, and they go back to uninformed optimism, right? Now, the difference between that 5% that make it over here to informed optimism, okay, I found are two main reasons why they can get to stage four, informed optimism, where they actually start to see some results. And then finally, five, success, where it actually gets them consistency and profitability. The first reason is the lack of discipline, okay? All of the people here lack discipline. What they don't do is they don't follow through on the system. They don't let time show them that they have an edge in the market with that system, and they don't follow a specific set of criteria or rules when they trade. Okay, so basically their results are everywhere. They don't give it time to play out, right, to see if they actually have an edge, and then they just give up too early, and then they start all over again. Okay, that's number one. The second is lack of accountability, right? They don't have anything keeping them accountable, basically, right? So they're trading by themselves, and they only have themselves to keep themselves accountable. They're not following rules, okay? And so there's nobody there to basically look over their shoulder and say, hey, are you following this, this, and this, right? So what happens? You tend to cut corners, right? You tend to kind of give a little bit more leeway on certain trades, right? Maybe this is kind of like a 50-50 trade, and you're like, this looks okay, and I'll just take it, right? So there's no accountability. So discipline and accountability gets you to informed optimism, because if you have a set of rules that you follow, right, and if you have something that keeps you accountable, and you could see that the system that you're trading actually does have an edge and it does play out over the long term, then you will make it to stage four, which is informed optimism, where you start to see some results, right? Now you're starting to see that the system does give you a positive expectancy over the long term. And then the more you trade it, maybe a couple years after that, you get into stage five, which is success, and you're seeing consistency and profitability after applying the system with discipline and accountability, right? So this is the cycle that keeps people broke. This stage 1, 2, and 3 here, okay? But as soon as we can break that threshold over to stage 4 and 5, that's when you're going to start to see that consistency and profitability. So how do we get to stage 4 and stage 5? So guess what? Big surprise, you don't need another strategy, right? You don't need a new framework. You don't need a new set of rules, a new set of market conditions to adapt to. You just need to stick to your plan. And you need a certain set of rules and guidelines that you can follow to make sure that you stick to that plan every single time you sit down and take a trade. So the simple solution for me was to create something called the FXMS trading checklist. Right now, I've shown this to you guys before on a previous video, and I'm re-emphasizing just how important this checklist is, or having something like this is, for yourself and your own trading. So this keeps me disciplined. This makes sure that I am accountable for all the trades that I take by following these steps here, right? I'm taking trades based off of sound logic and context, the context that the market is giving me, right? I'm not taking trades too early. I'm not, getting in because of FOMO or greed or whatever else, is going to sabotage, a typical trader. This keeps me disciplined. This keeps me accountable. This keeps me in check. Basically, it filters out all the bad trades and makes sure that I'm only taking the A+ setups, right? Now, if you want a copy of this checklist for yourself, there is a link in the description below, which you can also download a free copy and use this for your own trading as well. But this checklist is solely responsible for me making sure that I get all my payouts every single month consistently. And just last week, I just posted, I made a $10,000 payout from my TPT accounts, basically just because I followed the steps of this checklist. Okay. Now, in a few minutes, I'm going to go over to the charts and I'm going to show you an example of a trade I took using the checklist, okay, and following the steps, in the checklist. But like I said, I just wanted to emphasize just how important it is to have something like this to make sure that you guys are staying disciplined in the markets. You need something like this to follow, right? If you don't have anything, on paper, if you're just kind of, taking trades based off of a whim or off the top of your head, obviously it's not going to be a good result, right? Or you're not going to have consistent results by doing that. So having a checklist like this makes sure that you are disciplined, right? Keeps you accountable. It gives you confidence and clarity every time you enter the trade. Okay, then you're not like, adjusting your stop when you're in the trade. You're not like watching every 5 minutes and, seeing what the trade's doing, worried about if it's going to stop you out or go against you, right? Because once the trade is on and I followed my steps, that's it. I'm completely confident in the result, no matter what the result is, okay, win or lose. But this is going to, make sure that I have more winners than losers, just because I've filtered out, bad setups and only entered on A+ setups, right? So once again, if you want a copy of it for yourself, there's a link in the description below you can download. But I'm going to go into some chart examples now, and I'm going to show you exactly how to implement this checklist and use this properly. Okay, so here we are on the TradingView chart, and I just wanted to show you a quick example of how you can implement the checklist here on an actual live trade example. Okay, now this was a trade that happened this week on NQ Futures. Okay, you can see here I'm on the 4-hour chart, and we are in an obvious bearish downtrend. Okay, so the very first step in the checklist is to find a higher time frame point of interest. Okay, so what we can do is we can look for an imbalance just above right up here. Okay, that is the closest point of interest that we have to us where price is currently. Okay, so that will mark that out just like that. Now let's go into the 15-minute chart. Okay, and what we want to do is we want to see price tag our point of interest after 9:30 market open, right? Since we're trading futures, we want to see this happen after the 9:30 open, and then trade the setup if it presents itself after 9:30. If you're trading forex, okay, then you could also look for this, from Asia, coming out of Asia into London, right? And also, you could do it a New York session as well on forex. But this is not, only exclusive to futures. Obviously, I'm giving you futures examples because that's what I trade. But this could also be applied to forex, commodities, like gold and silver and crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, As long as it has a price chart, these concepts in this checklist can be used on those trades as well. Okay, so don't think that this is just limited to futures, because it's not, right? So this is our 4-hour point of interest, as you can see here, okay, on the 15-minute chart. This is 9:30 open right here, where we are on the chart right now. So what I want to do is I want to wait after 9:30 open. I want to wait and see if price will tap into my point of interest, okay? And so let's play price forward just a little bit, and you will see that we tap into it right there, okay? So the moment we tap into our higher time frame point of interest, right, step 1 has been fulfilled. Let's go to step 2. Step 2 is what we need is a liquidity sweep, okay? So I'm going to go down to my lower time frame here, right, which is my 1 minute, and then I'm going to look for a liquidity sweep, right? So now what I can see so far is that we swept liquidity over here above these highs, right? That could be considered a sweep, right? But that's just step 2, right? Now step 3 means we need to see a displacement after the sweep, right? And obviously we didn't get a displacement after this sweep here, so we could have another sweep, right? So let's play price forward some more, and let's see. Right, still no displacement here, just a lot of choppy back and forth price action. But take a look here, right? Now we've got another sweep. We've got an internal sweep of an M1 high here. Okay, and this looks a little better because now we have a sweep and now we have displacement, right? Now we've just created a bearish engulfing candle and an imbalance, okay? That's step 3. Now step 4 is we need a change of character and an inversion, okay? So in order for that to happen, you can see that we have 2 bullish imbalances here, one here and one here, and then the change of character happens when price closes below this whole up move here, right? So price needs to invert both of these imbalances here and also close through this bullish bodied candle here. Okay, so let's play price forward and let's see. All right, so that happens right there, right? So now that's step 4. Now step 5 is divergence, right? So what we can do is we can look and see, do we have divergence on ES? So where NQ here swept this high, does ES also sweep the high, or do we have a lower high? And as you can see over here, ES does also sweep that high, okay? Which means that there's no divergence on ES. However, there's also one more asset we can look at, which is YM. And if we take a look at YM, you will see that the same high that we swept on NQ is actually a lower high on YM. So we do have divergence, which means we now have all 5 points of our checklist, right? First one being higher time frame point of interest. We've traded into it, check. Second is liquidity sweep, right? So we've done that. We swept above these highs here with a sweep. Step 2, check. Next, we want to see a displacement, right? We see that here with the big bearish candles, imbalance created there, imbalance created there, check. Next, step 4 is a change of character and an inversion, right? So the bullish imbalances on the way up, sweeping out liquidity, have now been inverted by the bearish imbalances on the way down, and we also have closed through the up close move, right? That took out liquidity, so now we have a change of character as well. And then step 5 and the cherry on top, we have divergence with YM. So we have all of our steps in place. Now all we need to do is look for the entry. So the entry is going to be your area of opportunity is where price swept liquidity and where we got the change of character. Okay, so anywhere in between these two lines right here is your area of entry opportunity. Okay, and so you can pick a point of interest in here, right, that looks good to look for an entry. So in this case here, we could look to target this order block, okay, right here, because you can see price is already kind of creeping up towards it right now. So we could look for a short entry right off of the retest of that order block right there. We can put our stop just above the sweep of those highs there, so about a 30-point stop. Okay, and then you can target the next opposing swing low, which is going to be right here. Okay, and that's going to be good for about 2.7 R. And then after that, you could look to either, partial out and trail your stop, scale out, right? You could do whatever you want and however you want to manage your trade. And we could even try to go for, the opposing lows down here, right, for 7R. Okay, but this will be the first initial target here. Okay, just the opposing swing low, and we'll see if that works out. So let's play price forward, and as you can see, we get tagged in there, very close to getting stopped out there. But again, that sweep right there should protect that high, right? If that is indeed the sweep, then that should be protected. And as you can see, we didn't go above it, right? And then price comes down, we get our TP very easily through here, and we even get a much bigger move. Let's see how far this goes down. Let's see if we actually take out these lows here for that 7R. So keep going, and nope, and then it comes back, right? So we don't quite get down to this low here. So if we were trailing our stop, if we wanted to manage this with a trailing stop, what you could do is you could trail on the highs that we create, right? So like right here will be the first trail. So this would be about 4R, and then you could trail above this high right here, which is about 4.5R, and then you get stopped out right there at 4.5R, which is also honestly a fantastic result. Okay, and so you can see how if we use the checklist, we filter out all of the maybe entries and the bad entries that might have occurred through all of this ugly chop, right? Let's say you were just looking for price to sweep liquidity, right? This might have been your entry confirmation, right? Just taking that high right there, and you can see the result of what would have happened if you entered there, right? Or maybe you just look for the sweep up here, right? Even if you just look for the sweep up here, which looks a little bit better, you still have to deal with a whole bunch of chop, right? Until we actually get to the entry, which happens all the way over here, right? And making sure that each one of the steps of the checklist is confirmed before we enter the trade ensures that we are taking a very solid grade A+ setup, right? And getting a good result. Now, this is not 100%, okay? Obviously, there's no strategy out there that's going to be 100%, but this is going to ensure that your trades will win more than they lose, provided that you always follow the steps within the checklist, okay? So once again, if you guys want a copy of the checklist, there's going to be a link in the description below where you can download your free copy. Okay, I hope you guys found this video informative and helpful. I will continue to put out more content like this for you guys. Just let me know in the comments what you want to see, and hopefully, like I said, this will help you get to that next level of profitability and consistency that you're looking for. All right, that's going to do it for me for this video, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care, and we'll see you guys on the next video.
Feel me.